पूरा पाइयोमा कतिसा त्यो हातले सायद 3 वर्ष त ननै बस्नुभयो र उहाँको इच्छा थियो अरू लामो मठमा बस्ने. After his enlightenment for 3.5 years, Osho was in silence and he wanted to remain silent forever. But other mystics, especially Magha Baba and other enlightened mystics, requested him that he should speak and he should help the other people who are on the path. So only after 4 years of his enlightenment, he started speaking, conducting satsang, and from 64, he has started, after 11 years of enlightenment, he conducted his first meditation camp in Rajasthan. People liked it very much, and then he got invitation from many cities, from many group of people to conduct meditation camp. So then, series of meditation camp happened between 64 and 70. He came to the city where I was a student to conduct satsang, lecture series in 69 and in 70. And in 70, a Manali camp was organized in Himalaya. I could not go to that camp that time in Manali. I had my college exams, so I could not go to that camp. Also, all of a sudden, decided to initiate people into new sannyas, which he was refusing since last 17 years. Not to be guru, not to initiate anybody as a disciple. All of a sudden, he accepted. About 10 people into new fold of new sannyas. Then he came back to Bombay. Only 9 or 10 people took sannyas in that camp. But Osho prepared a list of his people whom he wanted to give sannyas, and he was sure that he would take sannyas. So he prepared a list of 50 another people, named 50 other people, and prepared a sannyas name and wrote letter to all those 50 people that he started. We were requesting to be initiated. I refused. Now I have started accepting people as a disciple in new sannyas, and I prepare a name for you, and your new sannyas initiation is waiting. Come and take your new name and mala. So among those 50 people, I was also one. So I also received that letter. In the end part of 70. But sannyas those days was in orange clothes, and that I read in the magazine that it was compulsory to wear 24-hour orange clothes, and orange cloth was also specified. Sannyasi could wear only lungi and kurta in the initial days. So there was a fear how I would go to college with lungi and orange lungi and kurta. People will laugh at me, and with a mala. It will look strange. So there was a fear. There was always fear of disciplehood. Whenever you want to take sannyas, there will be always a part of mind will create resistance. And there is a fear of unknown, because initiation experience is unknown to you. So unknown always creates a fear. Even if today somebody wants to take sannyas, a part of their mind say, okay, take initiation, and another part of mind will say, will become afraid and resist. That's natural. So in my mind also there was two parts. One part wanted to take sannyas, another part was scared and it was resisting. So I could not go immediately. Then there was a camp in Mount Abu, and again Osho sent me a letter that I should come to the Mount Abu camp and take sannyas, which is waiting. He has already prepared name for 50 people on whom he was sure that they will take sannyas. They will become disciples. So there are a list of 50 people. I was among those 50 people. So again I received a letter in 71 October that a camp is happening in Manali, Mount Abu, and we should come and take sannyas. I tried to go to that camp and prepare myself. I also made some orange growth, collected money to travel. I was a student, the money was also a big problem. So I saved some money and prepared clothes to go to Mount Abu camp. But there was a great misfortune in my life. And I missed the train. That's the biggest story. I don't want to go in detail. But I booked for the Mount Abu, but I just missed the train by a few seconds. There was some misfortune. I reached the station earlier. The train was not there. So I thought I must finish some work I had in my mind. I wanted to collect a camera to take pictures in my Mount Abu camp. I didn't have a camera, so I went to a friend's house who was nearby station to collect a camera. And when I came to the station, I just missed the train by a few seconds. The train passed before me and I could not catch the train. So I missed the camp. That was a great misfortune of my life. That was also because now I can understand. In those days it was a mystery. Now I understand clearly. I missed the train also because my subconscious does not want it to go. It was afraid. We are always afraid of Guru. The subconscious is always afraid of Guru and also afraid of sannyas. So part of my mind was against going. And part of my mind, conscious mind was trying to go, unconscious mind was preventing. So in that conflict, I missed the train just by a few seconds. And that was the greatest misfortune of my life. Then many misfortunes followed in my life, and I could not go to Osho to complete 1 year. There were a series of incidents, very painful. I could not go to him for 1 year. knowledge and I reached him in 72 after 1 year. He was in Bombay in Manali, Bombay in Woodland. So I went to take sannyas. That time he was giving sannyas any day in Woodland. Anybody come take sannyas, he used to give sannyas. Those who were ready, he used to give sannyas. So when I went near him, or I got an interview and went near him for sannyas, then he said that, he asked me some questions. I was ready to give sannyas, and he asked me some questions. I was in final year of engineering, and after a few months was my final exam. When I told him that Osho stopped, he said, if I give you sannyas, maybe you will not be able to study well, and you may fail in your exam. So it's only a few months, so I will wait. You finish your study, then come back, and then I will give you. And he also put me in one other condition, which I could not understand that time, because life is a big mystery. We have purchased some land in Tahachal, Kathmandu, but house was not built. I have told everything Osho that I don't have a house, we live in a rented house in Kathmandu, but we have purchased some land. So Osho told me that he wants a small house in that land, because he will use that house. So he told me that you do two things, then only you come to me. One thing, you finish your study, and second thing, you build a small house. Then only come. Don't come before that. I will not give you sannyas before that. So that was a big mystery. So I came back, then finished my study, then I started a job in Nepal, government job, and then I started to try to build a small house. I had great financial crisis, I didn't have money, my parents also didn't have money. With a great difficulty, I could just make 2 rooms, but it's a small house, just 2 rooms, 1 bathroom and 1 kitchen. And the day we shifted in the new house, my parents and me, I remember I was just waiting to take sannyas and waiting to meet my master. He had moved to Pune in March 74. He had moved to Pune. So the night there was a Griha Pravesh, the new house, puja. We moved to the new house. Next morning I escaped. And I took a leave from my job, long leave without pay, and some money, 1 month salary I had in my hand. That time my salary was 500 rupees Nepali, so that money was, that makes about 300 Indian rupees. So that was my only money with me, and I went to Pune. And with that money, I lived in Pune for 5 months. In Pune, Osho gave me a sannyas. Also, he gave me a place to live in the ashram building. So I lived with him for 5 months. And then he told me to go back and start my job and start the center. Ashish Meditation Center in the house. Because he wanted that. He told me that in Nepal there is a great possibility. That he has told me many times in my previous interview. He said that in Nepal, his work will spread like a fire. The whole country will respect him. It will be like Tibet, like Buddhism is spread in Tibet. So it was Osho vision that his philosophy will spread in Nepal like Buddhism has spread in Tibet. So he wanted a center in Nepal. I was the only person from that time from Nepal near Osho. And only sannyasi and only his lover from Nepal that time. So he told me that you go back and you have to start center at your house, a small center, and work, join your engineering job, work, and you can come 2-3 times a year whenever you manage, come and stay some time in Pune, and rest of the time you run the center. So I came back in end of 21st December, he gave me the name Francis Meditation Center. He asked me to go back to start the ashram. So I came back at the end of December. So I could not manage to go to Manali camp. My sannyas happened much later. I have told you the whole story, why was that delay. Previously, in Mount Abu, I could not go. I missed the train, and there were many misfortunes. But in Bombay I went, but also refused. He said he first finished. And that I understood. After he gave me sannyas in 74, I was mad out of ecstasy for 4 months. I was not in sense. I was so happy, so joyous. So much energy thing was happening to me. So many energy experience happened to me. Then I understood that if you would have given me sannyas in 72, it would have been impossible for me to study and remain in college. It was almost impossible. Because so much thing happened to me in those 4-5 months when I was in Pune. People consider, even in ashram they consider that I had gone mad. A strange thing was happening to me because of my sanskar. I was going very deep in meditation and something was happening to me which I could not understand those days. Because of his presence, I was every day attending his lectures. In the evening we used to go for darshan because there were not many people. So because of his energy and his presence, I was very thirsty and I was very eager to live with him since many years. It was my desire to live with him. In Bombay also I wanted to live with him in Woodland, but he told me that there is only 3 bedrooms, all will be occupied, he has no space. And Bombay staying is very expensive for a student. So he told me that go back and he will make the ashram, he will call me. So actually he called me when Pune ashram was built. He called me and I have fulfilled 2 things. I have completed my study and I have already built a small 2-room house. So I was worthy to take sannyas. So I went there and I had a sannyas. And a wonderful experience of those 5 months, which cannot be described in words and which will be very difficult to understand unless you go through those experiences. Many satori happened to me when also gave me sannyas. Same night I had a very strong satori. I was beyond mind, I got beyond mind for many hours. I was so much in ecstasy. When he gave me mala, I cried so much. It created nuisance for everybody who other people had to take sannyas. And living there, my body was not in my control. So in the beginning I wanted to work in the ashram. But the work was not possible for me because I was ecstasy. So nothing was happening. Nothing was under my control. Then Osho allowed me to live in the ashram and asked Lakshmi not to give me any work. So I was staying in the ashram without any work because work was not happening. Then I was just doing some petty work, handyman, sometimes selling books, sometimes carrying books in the store. Not a regular work because it was not happening. I was given to transcribe his lectures. It's so difficult. When I had to listen to his lecture in earphone, the ashram was given a tape recorder and the earphone to transcribe his Hindi lecture. So I was trying to transcribe lecture Diya Tale Andhera and Sahaj Samadhi Bali Hindi lectures. But it was so difficult. Normally we were given 3 days to transcribe one lecture. In 3 days you have to give one lecture. But it was, for me, it took 7 days. Because listening to his word, I used to go into samadhi. And it was very difficult to write. So I took more than double time to describe one lecture. And Lakshmi was very angry because they wanted to print the books, also books on time. And because of me it was delaying, I was taking much longer time than my colleagues, 3 times more time. So finally I had to quit the job and have to live without job. So I could not attend the Manali camp. But many people who have been to Manali camp, they were my friend. They told me that all of a sudden Osho decided, and speaking on Lord Krishna Benedictine, he decided to start a new movement, new sannyas movement, and asked people whoever are ready, he ready to initiate. That time locket was not there, because it was not prepared. So some Rudraks and Mala were purchased from the market, Manali market, and people were asked to buy, make orange robes, orange clothes, lungi and kurta. And first day, 7 people took sannyas. Madhu was the first. And mostly they were who took sannyas first day. And then in that camp, there were 9 or 10 people who could collect courage to take that decision. Other people were afraid, so only 9 or 10 people took sannyas. And this movement of sannyas grew very slowly. In the beginning, people were very well scared, because orange cloth was compulsory. And it was not only compulsory, there were specific clothes, lungi and kurta, for male and female both. People find it difficult to go to office in that dress, business, so people were afraid. Then Osho made it simple. In Mount Abu camp, he made a 3-fold sannyas. One was sannyas with orange cloth, lungi and kurta. The other was sadhu. Swami, sadhu and sadha. So 3 tarih ko sannyas शुरू करने वाले 71 Mount Abu. सजिलो गर्नु किनभने सबै मान्छे orange cloth कुरा लगाउन तयार थिएन. त्यसकारणले उहाँले भनेको 3 थरीको सन्यास. अनि पहिलो थरीमा थियो लुङ्गी कुर्तै लगाउनु पर्ने र orange लगाउनु पर्ने. सेकेन्ड साधुमा एउटा ध्यान गर्नु पर्ने. सेकेन्डमा साधुमा के थियो भने सेतो लुगा लगाएर. सेतो लुगा लगाउनु पर्ने, जुन जे लुगा लगाए पनि हुने सेतो लगाउनु पर्ने. त्यो सिम्पल थियो. त्यसलाई साधु भन्छ. माला लगाउनु पर्ने. तेस्रो थियो साधक. साधकको कस्तो भने जे लुगा लगाए पनि हुने, जुन कलरको पनि त माला लगाउनु पर्ने. धेरै मान्छेले साधकको दीक्षा लिन थाले. कोही साधुको लिए सन्यास कम नहीं थे। पछि पुनः आएपछि 74 मा भगवानले अर्को दुईटा ड्रप गरिदिनु हो। Then also drop these two. He said nobody encourages people to take sannyas. यो साधक र साधुमा कमजोर मान्छेहरू पनि लिन्छ। I don't want weaklings, so he dropped these two. Then he said that everybody should wear orange and take mala, then only he sannyasi. So 74 देखि चाहिँ त्यो दुईटा जुन फोल्ड थियो साधुको र साधकको त्यो चाहिँ ड्रप खाली स्वामी र मा। पहिला के थियो भने स्त्रीले सन्यास लियो भने साधिका, पुरुषले लियो भने साधक। त्यो चाहिँ जे लुगा लगाए पनि हुने, खाली माला लगाउनु पर्ने र एउटा ध्यान गर्नुपर्ने। अनि साधु थिए जो सेतो पुरानो किताबहरूमा भेट्नुहुन्छ यो कुराहरू। If you read old books, you will get these details. साधुले चाहिँ सेतो लगाउनु पर्ने 24 घण्टा, तर जुन स्टाइलको लुगा लगाए पनि हुने। सन्यासीको लागि डिफिकल्ट थियो। सन्यासीको लागि लुङ्गी र कुर्दै लगाउनु पर्ने र एकदम हल्का लगाउनु पर्ने। त्यहाँदेखि जब मैले 74 मा सन्यास लिएँ, मेरो सन्यास त ढिलो भयो। त्यो बेला पनि धेरै कम सन्यासी थिए। हामी केही 100 मात्रै थिए सन्यासी। मान्छे डराउँथ्यो सन्यास लिनुबाट, ओरेन्ज लुगा लगाउनुबाट मान्छे डराउँथे। साधुहरू थिए, साधक थिए, स्वामी चाहिँ धेरै कम थिए। पछि भगवानले त्यो सन्यासलाई साहसीहरूको हो, त्यो कमजोरहरू आएर यसमा काम हुँदैन भनेर साधु र साधक ड्रप गरिदिनु हो र सन्यास चाहिँ खालि स्वामी र माको सन्यास हो। यसरी चाहिँ यो सन्यासको स्टोरी कथा भगवानले नाम दिनुभयो सेन्टर आशिषको। अब त केही थाहा थिएन कसरी सेन्टर चलाउने, मसँग केही सामर्थ्य पनि थिएन। एकदम आर्थिक बहुत कठिनाइमा गुजिरहेका थिएँ। जम्मा तलब 500 आउँथ्यो, त्यो पनि म वर्षमा 3-4 महिना जहिले पनि पुनै बस्थेँ। वेतन बिदा लिएर तलबै आउँथेन। बहुत गाह्रो थियो, पैसा बहुत समस्या थियो। जब पनि छुट्थ्यो, नयाँ जब खोज्नु पर्थ्यो, बहुत समस्या थियो। पुनाको भगवानको आकर्षण पनि थियो। मैले 74 देखि 81 सम्म मैले काम त गरेँ यहाँ नेपालमा। पुना भगवान जब बस्नुभयो र वर्षको 4 महिना म उहाँसँग बस्थेँ। 8 महिना काम गर्थेँ, 4 महिना गुरुसँग बस्थेँ। कहिलेकाहीँ 6 महिना पनि बस्दिन्थेँ, काम छोडिदिन्थेँ, बस्दिन्थेँ। यसरी गरेर 81 सम्म यसरी चल्यो। 81 मा भगवान he left for Rajneeshpuram. In 81, 1st June, Bhagwan went to America. So then there was no charm of going to Pune because Osho was not there. So then I did my job sincerely. I earned some money to make my house. I had 4 rooms because it was only 2-room house. In the beginning, 1 room was occupied by my parents, 1 room they gave me, and in that room I was sleeping in a corner, and another corner was meditation hall for the center, and on the window sill I was keeping book for sale. There was 1 tape recorder. That's for the whole property of the center, 1 room center. For many years, from 74 to 81, it was 1 room center. In 1 room, I was sleeping also in that room, and everything, meditation and selling of books and office and meeting friends, everything was happening in the same room. But from 74 to 81, much meditation happened in Assis, in the Acharya house. Much meditation happened. And slowly, in the beginning, nobody was coming. I started Osho Center actually in 70, when I came back from my first camp, Mount Abu. First camp in Dwarika. Osho asked me to start a center. So that time Osho meditation center was not started. Because Osho had not given sannyas and then Osho had not started his regular meditations. So it was information center and it was called Rajneesh Prem Parivar or Jivan Jagrati Kendra. That was the original name of the center, Jivan Jagrati Kendra. Where we used to keep his books and play his cassette, and there was no regular meditation. So I have started in my rented house. My parents had rented a house. So I have started Jivan Jagrati Kendra and this Prem Parivar, but nothing was happening. I tried it for 4 years. I was a student, I used to come on vacation and I was also not regular here. But nothing was happening. When Osho gave me the name of the center and I took sannyas, then also it took about 2 years to next man to convince. For me it took 2 years. Actually it took 5 years for constant effort to make a second man convince to take sannyas. It was very difficult those days, because there was a lot of negativity against Osho. People were not much aware of him. There was bad publicity in paper, media. So people were very scared. They were not coming for center, they were not coming for meditation. So early years of my as a center leader, I had to struggle very hard, very different days. Nobody was coming for meditation, nobody was interested in books, nobody was coming to center, so I started selling books on New Road. Because in the New Road many people gathered in those days. Then Kathmandu was a small city and everybody was going to New Road in the evening for entertainment and for coffee or snacks. So I started a book stall on New Road under a peepal tree, under a boat tree. And so for several months I was selling books there in the evening. And that way I could get some friend who was interested in reading also books. And they slowly were interested, and then I told them to go to Pune. Some of them went to Pune, took sannyas from Osho. So that way things rose from the selling his books in the New Road. And it was but in the center of the town, many people used to come to visit. So that way I introduced Osho in Kathmandu Valley to some people, and then they joined me to coming to the Dahasal Center. So my early year up to 81, I started Osho movement. I also worked in Nepal in 70. And up to 81, for 11 years, I have struggled very hard, very hard. I had a great financial crisis. I was earning very little. And everything I had to do with my own saving because nobody was ready to contribute any money for Osho movement. So everything had to be done by my income. So every Saturday, all activity was free. Up to 81, every activity was free. Every Saturday I used to play Osho lectures. There was no video, just Osho audio and some meditation. And we used to give them very good snacks, like we do here in Saturday. But here we charge 60 rupees. But those days in Ashish it was all free. Because I tried to charge 2 rupees, then people stopped coming. Then I had to drop it. We tried to charge 2 rupees for it. Snacks, but people stopped coming. So then we withdraw that rule. We said, no, everything will remain free. So it remained free from 74 to 81, 7 years. And I have to pay from my very limited income, I have to pay for everything. For electricity, It was my house, so house rent was not there. But all other expenses I had to pay. And anybody who come for evening meditation, after meditation, I have to give them snacks so that he should come next day, otherwise he will not come. So I have to give them some food, some snacks, or gifts, just to make friendship. So early days of 74 to 81 is a day of great crisis, and I have to make big effort to make Osho popular in Kathmandu. You know the story. I've made a advertisement there. Anybody who wants to listen to Osho, one day I have fixed Wednesday. Other day I was selling books in the evening at New Road. Wednesday I noticed that my shop will be closed, footpath shop will be closed. And on Wednesday I have put a notice in Gorkhapatra that anybody who wants to listen to Osho or try to his meditation, he can ring me. I didn't have phone even in my house, so I have given my office number. So they can ring me in office. And on Wednesday, if you are interested, any part of Kathmandu city, I will come to your house and play lectures, social lectures, and conduct meditation. So Wednesday was, Ashish Center was on wheel, moving. And I didn't have car, I didn't have even motorbike, I didn't have even bike. So I have to carry this tape recorder on my shoulder, in my bag, and cassettes. And I used to get invitation because it was all free. So sometimes people used to invite me from Patan, sometimes from Bhaktapur, sometimes from Banepa. Then I have to go with all the heavy load. And at the most of the time, it was even difficult for me to arrange for bus fare. Bus fare those days was very cheap. In 50 paisa, half a rupee, you can go from any part of Kathmandu to other part. But for those days when 50 paisa was a great, big money for me. Just to save 50 paisa, half rupee, I had to travel 5, 6 kilometers sometime with cassettes. And still I have got the tape recorder, which just to purchase the tape recorder because my family didn't have money. And in the beginning we didn't have tape recorder. In the center I was asking from a neighbor. He was rich and he had a tape recorder. So every Saturday in the beginning I had to get his tape recorder for conducting Kundalini and playing lectures. But one day he made a big satire. Each time he said that you don't know how to play, how to handle the recorder. He made a big satire. It hurt me very much. No? So in Hasal, I had at that time big plot of land. So I sold this part of land to buy the recorder. Because it was difficult. It was 4,000 rupees tape recorder. And land was, I think, 20 rupees, 20,000 rupees opening. It was there. So I sold about, because we wanted to put one more room in the house. So I sold 2 rupee of land just to buy a tape recorder and add one meditation room now. So, and then I could purchase a tape recorder also. I made a room of extra room for myself. So Osho has a spread in Nepal because it was in season. He told me in 69 that you will have to work hard. And if you work hard, the whole Nepal will color in my color. And he said to me, the same story of Tibet will be repeated in Nepal. It will take time. It will not happen in one go. But if you struggle hard, it is going to happen. He told me in first meeting, '69 when I met him. And he repeated it many times. And he gave me, when he allowed me to start the center, he also repeated me that in the early year you will have to struggle very hard. But if you keep on working, one day people will listen to you. Now time has come. People have listened to me. Now they come to Tapovan. I don't have to go anywhere. Even ministers, prime minister, they all come here. I don't go to meet anybody in their house. I've done that job. So now everybody comes to Tapovan. Even high government officials. They are trying to invite sitting prime minister on 21st March, on Enlightenment Day, and Osho Tapovan Foundation Day. So we want to make a cultural program and we want to invite many ministers. I am trying to invite Prime Minister. If he is free, most likely he will come. So now, what Osho had visualized in '69, which was very difficult for me to believe, for anybody to believe. When I told this thing to my parents, they used to laugh. And all my friends used to laugh. It is not possible. But after 44 years of regular effort, constant effort, I started in '69, now we are in 2014. So it had already 44 years had passed. I have got the same zeal which I had in 1969. I was young. I was in my 20s in '69. I had the same. I had the zeal and I have energy. In 44 years, much time has passed. But I find within me the same zeal and same passion. My passion has not reduced, and my zeal has not reduced. I feel the same zeal and same passion and same love to spread Osho. Not only in Nepal now, we are doing it around the world. It is a historical story. Those who have watched it, that how things have slowly grown, very slowly. Now we have started center in America, we have started center in Australia, another part of the world. I have already traveled over 20 countries. I have done camp in almost all important cities of the world. And I have initiated few people. So slowly the world is becoming global. It started from Nepal, and it was very difficult for me to believe that it will spread in Nepal. In Nepal we have 75 centers, 6 communes. You see that people come, and every Saturday hundreds of people come. It is spreading every day. Now it is spreading now. Osho has given me more tasks. Now he told me that you have to look after my job around the world. So 6 months in a year I travel. Half of the year I travel and spread his vision in different countries. There also have got some success. It's not easy to spread Osho in America. There was so much negativity. 8 years before, when I first time landed in America, nobody was ready to listen to me. Nobody was ready to give me a center for one night. It was very difficult. But now in 8 years, I have friends in every American city. I have center in every American city. I have sannyasi in every American city. When I first landed, I had to go by taxi to a non-sannyasi house to spend nights because there was nobody. And I didn't have money to stay in the hotel. It was very expensive. But in 8 years, things have changed. Now when I land in America, any city of America, a lot of friends come to receive me, and then it becomes difficult whom to say no. So much things have changed in America now. In every city I have. So lovers we have. Not only in America, in almost every world, every part of the world wherever I go. Now I have friends, we have center, we have sannyasi. So his vision is declining slowly. And Osho, when he appears in my meditation, he said that his work is not even started. It is not even started. You see, he said that work will spread more and more. It is just in the beginning stage. I have to keep patience. I have to remain in trust and remain in love. And it is his confidence that work will spread more. Now it is only in the beginning stage. Osho assured me that there will be commune in America, don't worry. It will happen. And it has happened this year. Now we have 2 communes in America. It's not a joke. It's a very, very difficult task because there is so much negativity. There is so much negativity in America due to this problem incident. But we have been able to establish 2 communes. And I have initiated more than 500 people in America. They are in every city. Many people come for the camp. And I hope that again there will be more communes in other parts of the world. So it is an ongoing story, long story. Okay, Gandhi? Let's make a meditation. आज हम कीर्तन ध्यान करो. बड़ा सुंदर ध्यान कीर्तन. Short meditation but sweet meditation. So let's do kirtan meditation today.